Hello, lifers. Welcome to the first new from the chat room in years. We're talking a long time now. I don't expect this episode to be particularly long. I don't have a lot to talk about in terms of actual releases and that sort of thing. It looks like I'm probably going to be doing this one by myself. I am the Wildcat. I basically run all of this. bwldevelopment.com. Usually I like to start off just with a little bit of brief chat, just discussion in general, so we'll touch on that first. Normally, if I had Cyrus or TechnoBeaver, one of those guys here, I would ask them if there's anything they're looking forward to, movies or games or anything like that. As far as something that games that I'm interested in that I'm looking forward to, Battalion 1944. This is one that I backed on Kickstarter, so I'm going to gain access to it for the alpha, for the beta. Supposed to get some dog tags, that sort of thing, which is cool. I'm looking forward to that one. It's going back to the World War II shooter type of game. Sort of in the vein of the old Call of Duty, the old Battlefield games, where the emphasis is more on creating something that can be skill influenced. I look forward to it. I am excited about that one. The other title that I'm really looking forward to in terms of games, Quake Champions, actually. I was really excited. I was waiting after Doom and after Fallout 4. I went into last year's E3 hoping for a new Quake title, and that is what they provided us. I'm still a little bit leery on a couple of the finer points, the whole Champions concept. However, from everything I've seen from that, and especially getting a chance to watch it played at QuakeCon last year, it looks really positive. It looks like largely all of that stuff is going to be fairly balanced out. More recent talk about it has indicated that it will be free to play, which is cool. Their stated goal at QuakeCon even was to make it as an inclusive a game as possible, so that people who are not lifelong Quake players will be able to join in. Certainly that's a noble goal. I would just assume they give us a good Quake game altogether, but it looks positive right now, and I'm really excited about that. Better yet, it officially will be available starting tomorrow as a part of the closed beta. So if you've already signed up for that, you've got a chance. They'll be sending out their emails to be a part of the beta and start actually playing this game. So I'm kind of excited about that too. I signed up a while ago. Don't know if I'll be in this round of the beta or not, but I'm excited to get my hands on this game. As far as films, two in particular coming up within the next month or so, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Alien Covenant. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, pretty much everything I've seen about it, I'm pretty well satisfied with. It looks like it's going to be a good sort of fun movie. It'll be enjoyable, I think, so I'm looking forward to that. Alien Covenant, I'm a little more iffy on. This is another Ridley Scott stepping in and calling all his films smart films, and then Lord only knows what we'll get. But I'm optimistic. This is looking pretty positive. They're going to answer, in theory, some of the questions that they had. I certainly look forward to that. I hope that works out. I'm just a little bit concerned about the attitude of Ridley Scott himself, and I think Prometheus is kind of a point toward that. He had a chance to do kind of what he wanted. Started out as a Alien and then movie, and then either himself or the studio or both, and indications are both, decided to move away from the Alien franchise with it. But they didn't quite totally separate from it, but they didn't quite tell an Alien movie either, and all those didn't quites don't work too well. But what's really kind of got me concerned about it is comments that I keep hearing and different interviews that Mr. Scott does is he keeps talking about, okay, that he doesn't like the Alien versus Predator stuff. He doesn't like the Predator franchise. It's not smart. It's not smart films. He doesn't like the versus stuff. He doesn't like he doesn't want to make, he doesn't want to make comic book movies because he wants to make smart films. And the thing that keeps coming out is people ask him about this, they ask him about that, is he keeps saying he wants to make smart films. There's an attitude there that just somewhere in the back of my mind bugs me. Why are we now talking about this as if Prometheus was a smart movie? Okay, he was given a lot more freedom with that, and the script that ended up being made into a film dropped some of the smarter details. And we got 2 women running in a straight line from a giant wagon wheel-shaped ship rolling across the planet's surface. The scientist, the geologist, and the biologist, who are afraid of a dead body but want to play with the penis cobra snake worm creature vagina thing. And well, we get our geologist providing the mapping tools and then getting lost because he somehow forgets how to use these tools or to even pay attention to the direction that they entered the spaceship from. There are moments where the science used sounds decent in terms of technobabble, but it's actual science. That's the smart film side of things. It doesn't work whenever you don't actually do the research, whenever you don't actually do the consulting. Go and ask pretty much anybody. It has its high points, but it always gets kind of hindered by just poor dialogue choices, poor character elements. There's a lot of just non-growth for a lot of the characters. I didn't mean this to be a review of Prometheus or anything like that, but what bugs me is when I hear Ridley Scott making statements to the effect of, I want to make smart films. This is what we get. This is his idea of a smart film. You know, there's people who will be watching this video who are going to grossly disagree with me, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I am interested in Alien Covenant because it looks like sort of a return to form, and I'm optimistic about that. I'm hoping it really is a return to form. So this next segment, very briefly, is a Cat Life update, but sort of the downside of that is basically there is no update. There is no real progress there. Effectively, as I just typed into the chat, the series is on hold for the time being, with the exception of Fusion Power Kitten's attempt to make a light version with the old content and code. So this is the situation. I have spent the last several months just doing a lot of holdovers at work, a lot of time spent trying to catch up on projects, trying to get things going, and just not really making any progress at all. It's been a drag. It's been very, very slow, very annoying. I basically get off work, go home, go to sleep, and then wake up several times throughout the course of the day before I have to get up to go to work again. The last several days in particular, I haven't done much of anything. I still have not, as of this recording, completed work on the PAC South road trip yet. And I've got a small host of other videos to edit, but this is kind of the situation that we're dealing with right now. Add to that some of the other things that happen in life. In November, my dad went to the hospital. His health just deteriorating a bit. And he got out right before Thanksgiving, so we had a chance to have a good Thanksgiving dinner with everybody, and then it was December 2nd. He went back to the hospital, and he struggled for a good long time with various and sundry health issues, all tied to smoking, basically. It was in February. On February 2nd, he decided he wanted to go to hospice care, and February 3rd, he passed away. And since that time, during all of that time, we were doing things. I was making meals for myself and my mom, and I was helping her make choices and decisions. My dad, actually, for a period of time, was sedated and couldn't even answer questions as to what he might want, that sort of thing. After he passed, I took off 3 days at work plus an extra day, and just spent that time helping my mom take care of the funeral arrangements, and then going to the funeral, going to the wake, all of those things. It's been very busy. Add to that, in January, we did the first 2 road trips of the season. We got the LPU challenge out of the way. That was all a lot of fun. Happened just before my dad passed. I have not been making progress on anything, videos or anything else. Cat life, unfortunately, suffers for that, because it means literally I am spending every free moment trying to rest, trying to recuperate, trying to get my health up. Unfortunately, all of the projects have suffered for this. Cat life gets pushed back that much further. One really important exception that comes in the form of Fusion Power Kitten. This is a member of our Discord chat, someone who joined us recently. Fusion Power Kitten came in and flat asked us for additional models and content. This particular user is trying to make a light version of Cat Life. So even though I'm not working on it, we do have somebody who has popped up who is actively trying to make a light version, who is actively going through and looking at what content we have from 2009, from all that way back, and trying to build something new. It's Cat Life Light. I wish I could offer more, but I can't for the time being. Moving on a bit, we have a new server to talk about. We've set up a new Left 4 Dead 2 server. This is something that I wanted to do, and I'm glad to finally have it ready. We do, in fact, have now 2 Left 4 Dead 2 servers. In addition to our Minecraft server, The Realm, and our Gmod server, BWL Central, we have the Let's Play United and Let's Play United 2 servers. The key here is that the Let's Play United number 2 is actually a 12-slot server with spectating capabilities, so we're going to start trying to make more use of that. Additionally, folks, don't forget that we have Starbound as well, the Starboundless server, and hopefully we're going to get a series going with that at some point. It's a matter of getting people together. Additionally, I have restarted my subscription for DC Universe Online. I have plans to make leagues, one for the heroes, one for the villains. Folks, I'm not limiting that to just team members. If you want to be a part of that league, just let me know, and we'll get a time to get in the game and add you to the league. I could use help in that regard. I need to add my own characters into these leagues. Additionally, I am still working on Realms of the Awesome. Have not done as much. It's like I say, I've got an episode's worth of video now, probably, that I could edit. One of the biggest slowdowns for that actually has been that my games DVR that I've been using to record that has stopped working, and I'm basically back to using Fraps to record. Recording Minecraft with Fraps is a pain in the butt, but it's effective. I am open to alternatives if people have suggestions. Additionally, disorientation. I am making progress on that, though very slowly. I actually have, and for some time now I have been sitting on the first couple of minutes maybe of that I'd like to post as a preview. I had hoped to actually get that posted during FadeCon as something that we could show off there. But I still need to get some lines of dialogue from Cyrus, and I need to get kind of a final recording of my own dialogue for a couple of moments in there. So, not much of a segue here, but going from the subject of the videos, going on the idea that we have multiple comic projects to talk about, I'm going to jump back on my schedule here and talk a little bit about some comic stuff. I have actually, for some time now, had a number of drawings already made up for Boundless and for Errant Pixels. I simply haven't gotten them colored yet. I have finally started making some progress in that regard. I actually have the first new strip for Errant Pixels already drawn. I just need to assemble it, color it, and post it. I cannot make a promise on how long that's going to take. It takes a while to color, and I don't even have my tablet set up right now. I actually need to look at getting a new, better tablet, but in the meantime, do know that that is out there. Do know that that is coming. I'm rather happy to finally see that one getting started again. I am moving that away from the old Half-Life themed comics, though. This is basically a reboot for that franchise. I also have, and have not been using, some new pages for Boundless. I actually had enough drawings for about 8 or 9 pages. In terms of our comic stories, the Wildcat has his own sort of modern day era story that I have not yet thought up a title for. I'm not exactly sure if I will ever seriously make that one. There's too many other things I want to do. But the two major projects that I've got that are seriously tied to the Wildcat are Ambition and Honor, which is sort of the main true canon, and then Boundless, which is an alternate realm. It's a different version of the character and the interactions that we have there. I am going to get started with Boundless first. It opens up the most opportunities for what I'm going to do, and I am really enjoying just the work that I've done so far. In terms of the structure, it's not going to be a comic strip like Errant Pixels. It's going to be something more akin to a graphic novel. Book 1, the title I'm working with is Our Little Displacement, and I'm actually, the drawings that I've got for the moment are actually the first 8 or so pages of the prologue, basically setting up this is what's happening. In addition to that, I am still planning to go forward with 3D. It's going through changes as I adapt, as times pass. Stuff that I plan to do, 2 or 3 years ago, no longer really relevant, that sort of thing. Additionally, we're still looking at an unnamed project. I can't even remember. I don't know if I ever actually had a name for that particular project, but I've got several that I'm planning to work on. I do hope to have all of these available through bwldevelopment.com, through our website. In addition to that, I haven't touched on it much, but we are finally going to have some t-shirts available. I've been promising these for years. I know one of my coworkers, Chris, King Cobra, has been waiting for a BWL shirt. Has been waiting for one with just the BWL logo on it. I've just been slow to get to it. I didn't want to start or open a shop until I had multiple shirts available, multiple merchandise available. As a result, I've actually held off on this way longer than I intended. We are going to be doing this soon. I am looking right now at using probably Spreadshirt. If you have better options for me, you might, let me know in our Discord. I also hopefully will start getting some prints made up for for my DeviantArt shop. And again, I'll remind any of our creativity team members, if you have a shop of your own and you would like to have that linked on the website, let me know. Just pop into the team channel and let me know. With regard to our video projects, I think we're about to move into our main subject of discussion. I'm going to be editing the old BWL road trips that are no longer available on our site because they were hosted on blip.tv and that's gone now. I can't just straight repost them. I use too much music from TV shows, movies, that sort of thing. But one thing I can do is I can go and dig up whatever files I have and re-edit it and make sort of a redo version. Beyond that, we have had a departure from our team. 42 Paces has been a part of our team for a couple of years now. Paces popped into the team room channel and announced that he is planning to leave us, at least for the time being. Just honestly, what he said was he doesn't really feel like he's been contributing that much, and he doesn't feel like he has as much time to play or to practice even to kind of keep himself fresh. We have not yet posted Pixel Flicker's tryout, and I have not yet drawn the custom character design for Pixel Flicker yet. I do intend to do that. We did do the tryout. First of all, let me say we wish Paces good luck in whatever he plans to go on and do, and he's certainly welcome back with our team if he ever wants to come back. That's just the way life is. You hit a point where you feel like you need to move on to another project, or maybe things are just a little more hectic and you're not going to be available, that sort of thing. With that said, we've had 2 tryouts beside Pixel Flicker that signed up and didn't quite make it. Danks actually was going to try out and then canceled based largely on time issues. Same deal. He did not feel like he would be able to for time reasons, time constraints. And then Zidsees signed up to go through a tryout, and actually we set up something like 4 different tryout sessions, and it just didn't quite work out, where he was in some way busy each time that we had one scheduled at the very last minute. The last time in particular was that some guys that were constructing something next door or something like that cut the internet connection the day of the tryout. That being the case, basically Pixel Flicker is now filling in Pace's old spot. We need some more creativity team members. I need people who can be present for record sessions in Left 4 Dead 2, obviously, Payday 2, Borderlands 2, other games like that, other LPU related games. But also I'm looking for people to help us with Disorientation, who can help us with Gary's Mod stuff, who can help us with Starbound stuff, who can help us with Grand Theft Auto, any other DC Universe. Be great to get a group of people together where we can actually go in and record some good video. One of the only reasons that I haven't done more with GTA 5 or GTA Online has been that so much of the time I'm basically playing by myself with random public people, and honestly, the Vanos Gaming folks, I Am Wildcat has made my life an absolute disaster in GTA Online because I have had people actively target me because they see the name Wildcat and they assume that I'm somehow tied to that. And so then I've got people who are basically just messing with me, trying to basically get themselves in the next I Am Wildcat video. Folks, there is a difference between the Wildcat and I Am Wildcat. We're both on YouTube, but we're 2 different people. Come on now. Well, the best thing I can do is play in a for our team only instance of the game. But to do that, I kind of actually need other team members to be present. So we are going to be looking to fill a couple of different positions, especially Borderlands 2. With Paces no longer there with us, we only have 3 regulars in our Borderlands 2 playthrough. I need to get somebody else in there. Pixel has talked about possibly stepping in, but he's also told me before, and the same with TechnoBeaver, they both have said they didn't enjoy it that much when they've played it in the past. So it would be good to get somebody who enjoys the game. I would like to have some substitute players for any and all of these projects. So we are going to be sort of doing more tryouts. We're going to have that open now, like we have in the past. It's always been open, but we're going to make a little more of an effort. If you want to be a part of our team, I would say let me know. We have the tryout process. We do ask that you go through the Left 4 Dead 2 tryout process. If you need the game, if you don't have it, which is kind of sad, not only can you get it on sale during Steam sales, usually for anywhere from $3 to $5, I have a couple of copies I can give away. So, let us know if you're interested, especially in our Discord. We have a tryout channel and a sign-up channel, so make sure you're dropping in and joining us. For a lot of this, you do not need to be a team member. Make sure that you're in our Discord. Make sure that you're keeping up with what's going on, what our announcements are, that sort of thing. Because a lot of the time, these are public servers. We're going to, invite public people to join us. But you do get a few extra benefits. You do get to go into some of the more private channels. You do get the password to join in the servers whenever we lock things for private record sessions. More importantly, you get to join us and do collaborative efforts. It's the easiest way to collaborate with me, because I'm going to post in the team channel. I'm going to post in our Discord in different channels anytime that I'm planning to do something where I need team members present, and there's an opportunity there for you to join in and get some good game footage, that sort of thing. None of this is a paid job. This is all volunteer work. This is all you're jumping in and joining us on a voluntary basis. If you make videos, we have no problem with you making videos with our gameplay. Whenever you're joining us, if you're playing Borderlands 2 with us, feel free to record it and post it as your own videos. Likewise, if you live stream, you are on Twitch, or you're on Beam, or you're on one of the other services, feel free to stream it. Honestly, I would love to have a live stream going for most of our record sessions anyway. I just don't have an internet capable of doing that right now. Come into Discord, sign up for the tryout. It is a 3-hour process for the tryout. It is played in Left 4 Dead 2. It is on a PC. All of our stuff is, because I don't have consoles, I have a PC. That's what I do. This is easy. This is not if you try out, you're pretty much guaranteed to be a part of the team just for going through the tryout process. The tryouts aren't really there to determine whether you're good enough. They're there for you to sort of show off your personality, to let us get to know you, to let our watchers get to know you, and basically the only way that you would fail a tryout is if you're just a complete ass. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Other than that, I think we're coming to the end of this. I would encourage anybody who's interested to join us for the tryout process. I am optimistic. I am excited about some of these projects. I'm glad we're finally going to get some t-shirts out there. I'm glad we're finally going to get some comic pages posted. And I'm glad that we're about to get some major video projects up and running. I'm looking forward to From the Chat Room being a feature again, maybe more of a more permanent feature. Hopefully. I don't know how often I'll have room to talk. I want to try and do this on a weekly basis, but I don't know that I'll actually have that much to talk about. Guys, you're welcome to listen in. If you're on our creativity team, you're welcome to join me in the chat room. I don't have as much to talk about now. I've covered most of the material, but actually now I'm going to be fairly busy. We will see what happens, but I am about to buy my QuakeCon QDQ registration if I can. Registration officially starts for QDQ in about 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I am waiting for this. One of the reasons that I always try to get QDQ in particular, it is more expensive than what I probably should be spending given budget. But for QuakeCon, that's kind of an important one. For $150, I get preferred seating at panels. I get the short line to get into everything, including the LAN, including the other. Certain little benefits like that, and those things, especially that, pay off, especially for me. In order to get in line, for example, for Master Pancake Theater, I have to get in line very, very early. Sometimes as much as 2 hours early to make sure I get a decent seat and I'm not stuck at the back of the room. It's a very popular presentation. Well, with QDQ, I can make that 15 minutes. Just so much more of a benefit. Your estimated wait time is more than an hour. More than 30 minutes, more than an hour, and I've been sitting here for more than an hour. Does that make any sense at all? So right now it shows my estimated wait time to be 59 minutes. I do have a second screen going. Just a good practice, and specifically I'm using my phone. There, my estimated wait time is 20 minutes right now. So hopefully I'll get in. Given that these tend to sell out within 15 minutes, this is bad. I've been actually sitting on this page in both devices for at least an hour now, hour and a half. And basically, as soon as the timer came up, I loaded both of them and left them, and that's pretty bad. Now the phone is jumping ahead by chunks. It's up to 14 minutes now, so I'm not sure what's going on there either. But this makes me anxious because QDQ, all of these sell out very quickly, and having to wait, now I'm back up to more than an hour on this one. What in the world? And 24 minutes on the other one. How did 10 minutes get added back in? If somehow I manage to get, don't manage to get QDQ tonight, I will obviously try for a BYOC seat next week, and then there's usually some giveaways too. So we'll certainly keep trying to get something. But yeah, this is pretty ridiculous. I have watched my my phone because right now it's the best connection I've got as far as in my time in line, and it has fluctuated as low as 14 minutes and as high as 29 minutes, and back and forth over and over again. I don't know what to tell you about that. I'm not touching it. I'm letting it count down. Now it's down to 15 minutes. This whole thing is still kind of a cluster. It's been this way for years. There's not a really good way to do this. They have a limited number of seats on everything, every time. They don't have first come, first serve seating or anything like that anymore, so they always sell out. The biggest negative is that a lot of seats end up being empty when the time comes because they were reserved for somebody who doesn't show up, or they were reserved for one of the sponsors. And that's kind of always a disappointing thing when you see how many people want to get in. I'm optimistic. I've got 5 to 6 minutes here left on my phone. I think if I were to touch on anything, it's again to point out that I'm not going to have much in terms of road trips this year beyond what we've already done. We had the FadeCon trip, we had the PAX South trip, and we're going to have the QuakeCon trip. And in order to hopefully get the budget working the right way, to do more next year, especially I would like to do an LPU challenge again next year at FadeCon, that sort of thing. In order to pull that off, I've got to save some money up, and right now I'm not doing that. I'm down to 1 minute, 2 minutes. Why does it keep doing that? 3 minutes, what the hell? 2 minutes, 3 minutes. What is this? 2 minutes. You know, I posted in the chat, okay, we are going minutes away from time. I had no idea. I had no idea how literal that statement would be. 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Oh, wow, the other one's gone back to more than an hour. I just looked up at my computer screen. More than an hour. Yeah, this system I don't trust. You know, I have to deal with it, but I don't trust it. There's no telling how they're handling this now. There's no way that my computer should have jumped back in the line from half an hour to a full hour. That's 30 minutes added back on. I would speculate that that is estimated based on how quickly people are completing their stuff, and the reason that this on my phone is switching 3-2-3-2 the way that it is because it's trying to estimate how much time I have left while people are filling out the forms that come with this. My biggest concern at this point is that if it keeps doing this sort of thing, that there may not be any spots left. There were only 300 to begin with, and it's been about 16 minutes already. My timer stopped at 3 minutes. It's been 3 minutes for, gosh, at least that long now. We're up to 18 minutes since the timer started. This is kind of frustrating part of this. The other went back to more than an hour and is just sitting there. You can kind of hear the tension in my voice. This is where it gets frustrating because neither one of these should be more than an hour in the line, and especially not the computer that started out as more than an hour and went down to as much as a half an hour and then suddenly jumped back up to more than an hour. Well, presumably there were people going through the line fairly quickly and abandoning it or refreshing and getting out of the line. And we're kind of getting some of that, presumably. But I'm not seeing movement on either of these now. And there's always that question of whether it's even there are any of the 300 spots still open. Early registration is always rough, and it always goes fast. There is nothing new on their Twitter. What about on the forums? Nothing here either. But boy, look at all the members that are online. Everybody's looking. This sucks. For those registering next week, hit F5 as 7 p.m. rolls over. Alcor said, I went from 45 minutes to 27 minutes to over an hour. I'm not sure what to believe now. My Chrome window beat out all 3 of my other windows. We are down in the teens and then up to over an hour. So everybody's having this happen now. One available. I see that. Sea Wizard said that at 7:24. Almost. Half dozen transactions to finalize, then it's official. Wow. There's one person who is at 1 minute in the line and stuck. So, looks like I'm not going to get my QDQ. That's a shame. That is what happens with this, though. I sat here and watched this counter tick down for an hour and then got dumped in at random spots where my phone got in for 3 minutes and my computer somehow got in for more than an hour and more than 30 minutes. I don't even know what, you can't rely on this thing at all. Like the the estimated timer is just completely bogus. We're going to have to try and pick up some QDQ or something. Round 2 sold out. Check back for round 3. There it is. I almost feel like it would be better if they didn't do the packages, to be perfectly honest. I'm reading the tweet now that they just sent out saying that it's sold out. Because they've got all these packages now. They got UAC for like $400, and they've got QDQ for $150, and then they've got regular BYOC for $50. And basically, there's not a whole lot of a benefit to any of it. I didn't even try for the UAC this year because there's really not that much benefit to it. The QDQ is a benefit, for me especially. So not getting that's kind of frustrating. But we'll just take a shot for the next one, It's all that we can do. Falling back on what I was saying before, the reason that the QDQ is so important to me is because it makes everything that much easier. It actually frees up a lot of time and a lot of resources in terms of just what I have to do. If I have to get in line for 2 hours, that's 2 hours that I can't stand there or sit there and play a game or shoot video somewhere else. It means getting bad seats, having to sit at the back of the convention hall or back of the room during a panel or a presentation, and that's not a real good situation to be in. BYOC is next week, so we'll definitely try to get that then. Thanks for listening, folks. I guess we'll move on and wrap this episode up, and I'll see you next time. It's so funny. It's now that the show's over and basically everybody else who was in line for QDQ is now not in line for QDQ anymore. They're actually like paying attention to the Discord chats and stuff. Now there's comments coming in. It is what it is, but oh my gosh, there has to be a better way. I don't know what it would be. There's always going to be frustration when you don't get in, but then again, really at some point you should be able to get in. Hopefully not the same next week, and exercise and frustration and yes and BS. Those are pretty much sum it all up. My comment was, well, that was frustrating. Watched my phone bounce up and down until 1 minute, then 2 and 3, then froze on 3. Watched my computer, that was on before the phone, count from more than an hour down to about 20 minutes, then back up to more than an hour, and then freeze, then sold out. We'll be back here next week for standard BYOC.